Leggy tomato seedlings. No worries. Hey everyone, Natissa here on the subtropical Florida Gulf Coast, Zone 10, and I have leggy tomato seedlings. But what am I going to do about it? Leggy plants happen when the plant is trying to reach for more sunlight because they're not getting enough. This makes them less sturdy. Here in Zone 10, I grow my tomatoes through fall and the winter season. It's just plain too hot and too many pests and diseases through our spring and summer, where a lot of the country here in America grow their tomatoes. This year, I actually started my tomato seedlings here, where I call my seed starting station, really the floor of my carport. I started these seedlings in the first week of August. May have been a little too early, depends when our cool season rolls in. I knew the seedlings were not going to get enough sunlight, but I can't give them the sun they want because the sun here is just too hot and too extreme for these baby plants this time of year. This is the middle of our summer peak, which is very extreme here in Zone 10, Florida. Now in the past, and still even now, I do get a lot of leggy seedlings. Sometimes I just let them sort out themselves. I had a lettuce once, and let me just say, lettuce does not grow a long rambling stem, and they did have a little stem that ran across the ground, but it did right itself up and created the lettuce that I needed. And this summer, I planted peppers. Planted them in a cluster together, and they did get a little leggy, reaching for the sunlight. Maybe I could have topped them. That is where you take the top and you just sort of cut the first few inches off. It forces bushy growth in the plant and can make it more sturdy. But I didn't do that. I just tied it up to a trellis. It worked. I had enough peppers this year. But today we are focusing on our tomatoes. So let's go to the garden and see what we're gonna do about it. I have plenty more where that came from. Activate hat. Venu. It is hot and I will burn. All right, here we are. Now, the cool thing about tomato plants is that they root along the stem. If I planted at ground level where the soil is in the pot, the plant would not be sturdy. It would just be lying on the ground where it will be more prone to pests and disease. But what we can do to save this leggy tomato seedling, because it does root along the stem, we can plant this deep. Let me show you what I mean. So what we're going to do is we are going to bury this tomato seedling right up to about where my pointer finger and thumb are. That's actually like the first leaves you see when the seedling comes up. And what we're going to do, we're actually going to pinch those off. And we'll pinch off where my thumb is, these first set of leaves. We'll pinch those off. There we go. Now we can plant this seedling to about roughly here. There we go. Drop some water in there first. It's pretty dry. And yes, my soil is very sandy. Welcome to Florida. Kind of mixing that in there. All right. I'm gonna drop this seedling in. I can even lay it down. All right. And we're gonna bury it all the way. A little bit more. There we go. I'm gonna take this dried grass and use it as mulch around the seedling. This will help protected against splashbacks. You should have less chance of disease. Get that weed out of there. And of course, nice watering in again because it's still very hot and we need to get this tomato plant established. It might be hard to tell, but this seedling is not really being supported by that stake. It is because we buried it deeply. Remember, we took off those leaves, and now it is sturdy. It is on its way to producing some roots. Well, I hope this video helps you believe in your leggy seedlings, in that they can become beautiful, productive plants too. We will be following these seedlings through the fall and winter season. If you would like more videos on hope and success in the garden in not so ideal situations or plants, check out my hibachi harvesting video. I watched that video to encourage myself too. Or better yet, subscribe, because that's what this channel is all about. Because if I can grow, then you can too. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Here is the Mr. Stripey tomato plant today. Looking really strong, looking good. And here are some of the other leggy tomato seedlings that were featured in this video. Also looking really good. And we also have tomato blossoms at the start of October. That's really, really good.